Good evening. Good evening. Okay, guys. Good evening. I think we can start. Is my voice audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, please ask your friends to join. Yes, please post in your class groups. Okay. So hope all of you are trying the questions in the Moodle. I'm observing daily. Many people are trying actually. So that's a good sign. Many of them are yet to reach home. Okay. Yeah, because we have got this lot only. Problem is that the account is being shared by multiple people. So the slot for us is 6 to 7:30 only. So we'll discuss about that after the class. So today, let's adjust for one day. So up to 7:30 we can conduct, not an issue. Anyway, I'm live streaming the video so that you can refer it later.
Yes.
Okay. Fine. So hope all of you know how to start the Jupyter notebook and all these things. So I'm not going to tell that once again. So we'll directly start with the concepts today. So anything related to Jupyter notebook installation, you can come and meet me. So some people were getting errors, right? How while starting the Jupyter notebook, there is some access denied and all those things. So you can run that Anaconda prompt as administrator. Okay, that is one issue that some people are facing. If it is not opening or access denied message is coming, you can start the Anaconda as administrator. Right? Then my mouse. Okay, so you should be able to see this kind of prompt where you can see that message base D. So where you install, you have to go to that particular drive. So my drive is, then we have installed in. Okay. So what is the command we are using? Jupyter notebook. Yes, ma, it's already been live streaming. Okay, so once you start Anaconda, you will get this home page where your files are all stored. Okay, so these are the files which I have created. Okay, so I had already shared this particular file. Hope all of you have referred this and at least got some idea about the basics of Python syntax and all those things. So I'm just going to go through this very quickly. If anyone have any doubt, you can ask me in this. Okay. So I think I've explained till here in the last class, right? So I think I explained about exponential operator, float division operator, all those things. Okay. So coming to this formatting, a lot of questions I've added in the model based on formatting. Okay. So formatting outputs, there are three ways basically. So you can see, obviously, there you can use the parameter. You can combine multiple parameters and you want to separate them with some kind of special character, you can do that. So basically this first one and second one is separated by, I mean, after this second printf statement, there is two lines of slash, I mean, new space. Then this third printf statement is separated by triple hyphens. Got it? So these are the fundamentals of printing. So many people initially will face problem in the printf statement. So as I told you, first method is using percentage operator. For example, hi guys. Suppose if you have declared some variable, the entered number is, so you can write percentage t dot, not dot, percentage operator you have to use, and you have to mention the variable name, right? So this is the first method, which we call it as using percentage operator. Okay. So here, what is the syntax here? You have to use the format specifier related to the variable that you have declared. So it is an integer variable, so you have to use integer format specifier, followed by, you have to complete that statement using double quotes, then percentage operator and the variable name. So what is the variable name here? 10 a, sorry. So that variable you have to give. For example, you want to print two values at a time. So same thing, percentage d, close the double quotes, then dot percentage operator, followed by, in the brackets, how many variables are there? There are two variables, so you have to mention two variables in the bracket. So this is the very first method for printing, right? So we can see we are getting the output as 10 and 20. Similarly, there is one more method. What is that one more method? Format, using format function. So the entered numbers are, so here you are not specifying the variables using format specifier, but I'm leaving them empty. So empty brackets you need to give, then followed by dot format, in the bracket how many variables, list of variables. So this also gives you the same output. So what is the difference between the first printf and the second printf? Here you are using the format specifiers, but in the second method you are not using the format specifier. So the internally compiler, Python compiler will automatically recognize based on the type of variables. For example, here I will take b value as some floating value, 456 point something like this. So here I need not to worry about whether I need to mention percentage D or percentage F. I leave them empty. So who will take care of that format specifier? The compiler will take care. But in this, the first method I have to mention. Here I have to mention, but here I need not to worry. Got it? So here if I mention percentage T, you are getting the output, but the decimal places are ignored here. So you can see only 456 is getting displayed. But here, even though I have not mentioned percentage F, I'm getting the correct output. So that is the advantage of using format function. So it is the most widely used function to combine string message along with the variables, right? How many variables are there? That many opening and closing brackets separated by spaces. Then once you close the string, dot format. So that is a syntax. Dot format. In the bracket, you have to mention the list of variables. So if you are printing 3 variables, you have to write 3 messages. Suppose I don't want to mention the variables. I directly want to write something. For example, the college name is dash dash and subject is 2 flower brackets. Then I'll write dot format. In the bracket I will write directly, I will write what is my college name, our college name GRIET, and what is the subject we are studying, Python. Got it? So you can format the output like this also. So in this case I didn't declare any variables, but in the format function, in the parameter list, what I've given directly the values. So for this particular specifier, this particular data will be associated, and for this one, the second one, the Python will be associated. So by default, it goes in the left to right order, left to right order. Now observe the one change I'm going to do. So I will write here 1, and here I will write 0. So observe carefully what I've written here. Here I've written 1, and here I've written 0. So let us observe the output in this case. So what happened here? The college name is coming as Python and the subject is coming as GRIET. So why this change? Because I have changed the default order. So the default order is left to right. That means starting from 0, 1, 2, 3 in that order. So the first variable will be associated with 0, second variable with 1, third variable with 2 in that way. So here what I've done is I've exchanged the position of the values, right? So that means this is 0, this is 1, this is 0. So 0 I have written here. So after that subject is GRIET is coming, and that for Python I have written 1 here. So you should be very careful when you have multiple variables to deal with. So in this case I have only 2 variables. So I know the default order is left to right. So I need not to mention. By default it will go as per the order. So this is 0 and this is 1. Similarly, this variable is 0 and this is 1. Got it? So in that way you can format your output statement carefully. Got it? So for example, print my name is and I play for, and you can write something. I have something like this. International, something like that. Hundreds. Right? So in this case, so what you can write? So what is this that I have left here empty? So here the corresponding matching value should come, correct? So I'll write something like this. Virat in the double quotes or single quotes, doesn't matter. You can use both, either double quotes or single quote, not an issue. Then the second is I play for. So here what is that? Team. So you can write the team name followed by something like this. Got it? So in that way you can format your output based on the content that you have, right? So the advantage of with the Python is we are not going to worry about what particular format specifier I need to use, whether percentage D, percentage S, percentage F. So it doesn't matter. Got it? So only thing that you need to worry is about order. So I will ask you one question now. For example, I want output something like this. Okay. So if somebody in the interview, if they are suppose, so how do you format this particular, how do you get this kind of output? Using printf, print dot format method in the as per the order, right? So which one you need to specify first in the dot format message? So you will be mentioning the name first, followed by the other number, then followed by the city name, correct? So you need to know the order. Suppose if I change the order 210, what will happen? Here you can see, I'll change the order. What happened here? So 2 is, my name is 78, it is coming, right? Because as I told you, the format message goes from left to right order. So you need to use this number inside the bracket only when you want it to be, when you want output to be slightly different than the default order. So the default order is left to right. So you have to format the message carefully in the left to right order only. But sometimes if you want to change it, then you can use the numbers here inside the bracket, flower brackets. So as per the order in which you want. So all these things I've already sent. So hope you people have practiced from that. So to cover more topics, so I have already given you the content. So I will only clarify your doubts from the given PDF or whatever I've already typed and kept here. So if I keep typing and no going, we can't cover more topics. So as and when you get any doubts, so you ask you ask us doubt in between. Okay. Yes. 1 minute. So I'll just go with the PDF first, right? I've already given the content. So let the class be, let the session be more interactive because I don't want to explain everything myself. So I will show you the code. In that code, if you want me to modify anything, or if you want to change it as per your convenience, right? We will do that so that everyone will get to know how that particular line of code works. Got it? So let us not do it like one-way traffic. So let us make it more interactive and so that we can cover more topics, right? So if I keep on typing every program, we can't cover the topics, right? Basically. So let us start from here, correct? So in between, I'll be asking the question. So you just unmute one by one. You can talk. So don't crowd the crowd the traffic here. So just ask one by one whatever doubts you have, basic doubts you are getting in the code. Got it?
Sir,
Yes, Jayesh, tell me.
sir, is it required to use a specific format specifier, sir, like for data type, or else we can use
No,
any?
you can use anything. The most preferably people use format function, but earlier method was using percentage operator. So I have mentioned clearly in the notes what are the different types, right? This is the first method. So here I've used little bit different code so that you get to know how convenient it is to do the things in Python compared to C. So can you guys tell me why it is giving me the output as 007
I
here?
use percentile 03 now, sir.
Yes. So most of you people have learned this in the first year C language. So it is called as output formatting. So if there are no sufficient numbers available in the bracket, then the compiler by default attaches 0 before that. Got it? So here, what is my first argument, first parameter 7, but here I mentioned it as 03D, right? So it will attach total overall size is 3. If there are no sufficient numbers, it will attach 0 before that. Similarly, what is this one? Can anyone tell me?
Good, sir.
Percentage 5.2F.
Two numbers after decimal point.
Two numbers after decimal points. But what is the overall width of the number? Good. So overall width is 5. In that, after the dot, you need to have only 2 decimals. That's why it is rounded off to 123.57. Okay. So these kind of questions also will ask in the hacker rank and all those things. So please be careful in knowing how to get only the required data that you want. Similarly, here this is also same thing. You can combine string and other data type with the percentage operator. So these are all basic things.
Sir, one more doubt, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, in this 20-second one, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, in that format function, you wrote double quotes and as well as single quote, no, sir.
The reason I wrote is that I wanted any one of you to ask that question to me. So the reason is that both are allowed. That's why I just mentioned like that. So either you want single quote, you can use single quote. If you want double quotes, you can use double quotes, not an issue. So both are allowed in Python.
So in format function, if there is a variable, double quotes and single quotes are not needed. Am I right, sir?
Yes, yes. So that is a very good question. Suppose if you are having variable, so you can see here name equal to Virat. So here I've already given double quotes for the variable name and the value is Virat, but here you should not give double quotes because it is a variable. Okay, so that is a very good question. So for variables, you need not to put any quotes. Directly, if you are mentioning the value, then you can use either double quotes or single quote. Yes, valid question. Okay, so that's why you see that our output is you guys are the best. So there is no problem here. And here also I've used, yes.
Sir, even if it is a number, we need to.
If it is a number, you should directly write the number. If you put it in a single quote, it will be considered as a string, not a number.
Okay, but the output will be
Example
same.
is, for example, output there is no change, but when you want to add that number with another number,
okay,
that time you'll get a problem. So I think in the next slide I will show that.
okay.
My ID is, for example, here I'll write 1661. So there is no change here. I've put it in the single quote, but if you write it without single quote, it will be considered as a number, not a string. Okay.
Okay.
So as I told you, the order is very important. Here there are two values in the format separated by comma, road and success, right? But the order I've changed 0 to 1, 1 to 0. So if I mention 0 to 1 means this is 0th data, this is first data. So road to success, here success to road. So basically you need to be very careful. That's what I'm telling. So the order, if you're mentioning manually, you should know what should be your correct output. What is your output that you want to be? So in that way, you need to format it carefully.
Sir, could you add that 0 and 1, sir, in comments above that format function?
Where?
Sir, about that format, sir, about that road and success, comment 0 and 1, sir, so that we'll be able to know.
Basically, default order is what? Default order is left to right and starts with 0 and goes in the incremented order, correct? Default order. Default order is left to right. I hope this will give you the better information. So this is a bit interesting. You can see here. Here, same thing, but what I mentioned here is along with the roll number, I have given two values. One is 0 colon D, here 1 colon F, correct? So format 45, here there is no much change here because there are two values and that value I'm going to print in the output. But you just observe this part. Here what I've written, Virat scored colon, see, I formatted my text before and that text I'm using in the print. So that also you can do. No need to write everything in the printf statement. So you need to, the presentation is also very important. Suppose your output message is very big and you want to write everything in the printf statement means nobody will understand. So if the string is a big, if you're having a very big string, so better to format that outside and use that formatted variable in the print statement. Okay. So here Virat scored 1 colon D runs I've written in the bracket, flower bracket. What is the output you are getting? You can observe here. Virat scored 5,665 runs. So can anyone tell me why we are getting 5,665? Why we are not getting this
He
data?
wrote once.
Yeah.
Sir, because of one, sir.
Yes. So the order is, as I told you, it goes from 0 to 1. So in the format function, whatever the number of variables it might be. So you can mention the exact value that you want to get in the output. For example, I will change this order. I will add some more values. Right. So recently completed 6,000 runs in IPL, I think all of you know. 6,000 or 7,000, I don't know. Okay, whatever. So now tell me, now I want in the output, Virat scored 7,000 runs. So what is the modification I will do here?
Sir, change number 1 to 4, sir.
So we have to change the number 1 to 4. So why 4?
Sir, because starting from 0 and as we increment, it goes to 4, sir.
This is 0, 1, 2, 3, and this is 4. Correct? So if I want this particular number in the output, I will use here 4. So what is the advantage here is I can have list of data with me, but I can only use whatever the on that particular day, on that particular instance, I can use the required data. So that is the advantage of Python output formatting functions, right? So it gives a lot of flexibility in terms of having existing data as well as only using the data that you want to. So that is the advantage of Python print statement. So here I will change 4. So you can see it updated to 7,000 runs. So there is no much change. And there is one more way to format. For example, you have a specific value which is always constant. For example, your college name is constant, correct? So I can, in the format function, there is one more option is there. It is an inbuilt option, so you should use as it is. The parameter name is field. Field you have to use. So for field, you can assign whatever the data that is constant throughout the program. You can mention it in that. So here field I've given as data scientist, right? So here, this is 0 and this field acts as 1, correct? So 0 is most important for field. Instead of writing 1, what I'm writing here is field I'm writing so that I know what is that particular data is, right? So this is also you can do. And this is a simple example of how to combine two different strings together using plus operator, right? So this is the first string, this is the second string. So you can combine just using the plus operator in Python. So these are a lot of such small codes I've added. So you need to just carefully observe, and at any moment in the sessions, if you're getting any doubt, you can ask me. So that's what I am trying to do is, I will give you the content, I will put the questions. So in the sessions, you need to clarify your doubts, right? Lot of doubts you will get initially. So the first foundation is having good knowledge about the basics, how does the formatting works, how to take the input, how to import some existing package, right? What is the indentation rules, right? What are the existing operators, how to use them along with the loops. So if your foundation is good, you can play along with the Python easily, right? So that is important in foundation. Then the one more method that we have is f-string method. So purposefully have written here, it doesn't work in Moodle. So recently, I think I posted this information in the group also. So this particular f-string method won't work in Moodle, but in REST online compiler or Jupyter notebook, it will definitely work. So still I have not found a solution or the reason why it is not supporting in Moodle. Maybe they didn't add this package in the Moodle or something. I have to I'm still finding that reason, but time being, you don't use this f-string method in the Moodle to print any kind of output message. But this is also one of the widely used output formatting method. So here we have two variables, name, age, right? So the syntax is, so you have to write print statement followed by F keyword immediately, then double quotes. So this is very important. Many students will make a mistake. First, they will write double quotes, then they will write F, then they will say that, sir, we are not getting output. So you have to be very careful. First F keyword, F single letter followed by double quotes. Then whatever you want to print. So what is that I want to print? Name. Where is that name in the variable? What is my variable name? Name. You have to put that in the flower brackets and another variable name, right? Then close the double quotes. So a very simple method. So you have to start with the F keyword, double quotes, whatever the output message you want, followed by the variable name that you want to print, then again concatenate, followed by another variable name. So this is the simplest method compared to all the three. So F string method is also the simplest method actually, but still, unfortunately, it is not supporting in model. So time being, what you can do is you can use format function. Got it? So one or two examples are given here. So see here, name, college, university. So here we are having only single string, right? So single output message. But here I can format multiple statement output and I can directly print it with a single variable. So here in the message, what I've written, F. So if you are working with multiple statement, so the syntax changes. See, for single sentence, single double quotes. For multiple statements, you need to use 3 double quotes. So that is important. So start with the F followed by 3 double quotes. Then whatever you want to print, the customized message followed by the variable name, customized message followed by the variable name, then close with the 3 double quotes. Okay, then print the message. So this is called as multi-line string statement and or printing the multi-line output using F string method. So that is one way. So another way is you can use backslash character to create a string first, then you can print the output. So this backslash character along with the special characters you can combine. So here what I have done, hi Virat /n. So that means this particular data should come on the next line. Not only next line, immediately on the next line, it has to give /t spaces, tab spaces. That means 6 tab spaces it will give. Then you have to close with the backslash. Then again, you are from GRIT. Here I have not added any special character. So the next particular line will continue on the same line. This particular message, you belong to JNT University, will continue on the same line here. Got it? Because I have not added any special character. So this is also called as declaring the multi-line string in the Python using backslash character. So apart from that, F string method is very flexible. It can print the variable value directly. So here what it is doing, variable name is Python. I mean a variable value is Python. Then using F string method directly, I am mentioning the variable name here. So here you can make a lot of mistakes here. So be careful. Suppose if I don't mention the flower brackets, what is happening? The output is coming as VAR. Why it is coming as VAR? Because it is just treating it as a normal message. It is not treating it as an expression or the variable. So you have to be very careful. If there is any expression or the variable, it has to be embedded inside the flower bracket. Got it? So to clarify that out only, I've added one more line here. So what it is doing here, I'm not printing any variable value, but what I'm printing the expression value. Got it? Again, this expression has to be inside the flower bracket.
రణవీనా
It's fine.
బానే ఉంటది హైట్ తక్కువ ఉంటది.
Guys, please mute yourself and talk. Okay. So for the interaction purpose, I have unmuted everyone. You can unmute and talk.
హైట్ ఎక్కువ ఉంటా మాత్రం
ఏమి ఉంటుంది?
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, I have a doubt.
Yes.
So if we want to include parentheses, here the var variable has Python, no sir, name. If we
No,
if we
VR
want to
is the
write
variable
it,
name. Python is the value.
yes sir. For if I want to print first parenthesis, then Python and close the parenthesis, how should I do it, sir?
What do you want to print?
First open parenthesis.
You want to print open parenthesis.
Okay, then Python and then close parenthesis.
You want something like this.
Yes sir.
You want inside.
Python.
So again, you have to use a backslash character, I think. So to embed, you want to embed expression itself inside the statement.
Yes sir.
So what you can do for that is, So I've never tried that actually. So if I get the solution, I will tell you. Okay. So there will be some method.
Okay, sir.
So maybe you need to escape that flower bracket. If you write like this, what is coming? So it is not detecting the bracket. So we'll try that. That is a good question. So what you need to do, you want output like this, correct? This is what you want, right? So, I will try this and I'll let you know. So other people, you can explore this particular, how you have to do it. So it's a good question actually. So like this, you can get the test cases. So it is a valid test case because I want bracket also in my output. How will you do that? Generally, if you write bracket, it will be considered as a you can't keep it open.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, why don't you keep the flower brasses in line 1?
Where?
In variable, like in VR variable, keep the
There
flower brasses.
we can keep. No, there we can keep. That will work. But what is his doubt is I want in the printf statement on. So this will work. Suppose if I write here VAR. So this will work. Got it. Sorry, yeah, double quotes.
So if you use double curly braces,
So this will work. But I don't want to. So user doesn't know, right? He doesn't want bracket and all in the while he's entering the input. He doesn't want to enter any bracket. But I want to add manually bracket in the output. So that is what his doubt is. Yeah, somebody's telling.
like if you use double curly braces in the F statement, so it can work, right?
Double curly braces.
In the printf statement, like
Yeah,
after a string.
I'm doing that only now.
Outside the double quotes, sir.
Here. Where you want to do it? Maybe here.
Yes, sir.
This will be treated as again set actually. So this is also not a correct way. I just want a bracket with Python. So this is actually is considering as a set. There are data structure concepts like tuple, sets, list, and dictionary. So it is
We can use
yeah.
sir, we can use triple parentheses in variable way. We get the answer, sir.
Where?
In a string, sir, triple parentheses.
Before parenthesis?
Triple parentheses, sir. Sir, parentheses 2 times.
Your voice is breaking actually.
Triple parentheses, sir.
Sir is saying triple parenthesis.
In triple parentheses, where variable is given,
Slash.
sir.
You can do like this actually. This will be again treated as multi-line string actually. This will be treated as a multi-line string. Yeah. So this is working. So here, what we are doing, we are not using single double quotes. We are using multi-line string format like what I've explained here. So this particular way you can do it. Yeah. So like this, it is important to discuss. There is no one particular method to get the output. So sometimes the test cases will be like this. So definitely I've never tried this one. So you people are, interacting and making us to learn. That is important. So sometimes it is important to discuss among friends and, inquire and clarify your doubts. That's the way you can improve in coding. Okay. One day it is not going to possible. So every day you have to put, okay, maybe I've added here. Is it because of that? So yeah. So this method is also not working. So because I added here, it was coming. But only thing I have avoided is it is just printing the output. It is not creating a set. Okay, if there is any method, I will come up with that. Meanwhile, you keep
Sir,
trying.
sir,
Yeah.
instead of double quotes, use parentheses.
Use
Parentheses. Triple parentheses.
triple parenthesis.
Yes, sir. And double quote in front of it. One quote. Single quote.
Single quote.
Yes, sir. Just three parentheses.
No.
Sir, in front of. Sir, remove parentheses. Where? Variable.
Variable parenthesis.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
One more parenthesis, sir. One more parenthesis. Remove parenthesis in variable. Variable, sir.
He's saying
Acha,
that to
sorry.
remove.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes, sir.
Now we'll remove him. No.
Triple parenthesis.
No. So it is not working. Anyway, you try it and let me know. Okay. But time being, you can use triple quotes. That will give you, but again, it is not a correct one.
Sir, actually what he meant was triple parenthesis, sir. Add one more parenthesis.
Here.
Yes, sir.
That's what my, if I add one more, I already tried this. If I add one more, it is coming. Oh, okay. So basically, this part will be considered as data. I think it is taking it as a normal data and this overall thing as an expression. Yeah. I mean, this particular data as a string and there are two expressions inside. Okay. So this method is working fine. So if you want to escape the double quotes, so how many extra brackets you need to put? Two more. Okay. That's what you have to do. Trial and error method. Definitely there will be a solution. Then all these things, again, you can combine multiple statement inside F statement is what I am given here. Here, what we have done is we combined expression, a total expression inside the F string method, right? So it is going to compare. It is going to give you the output if this particular expression is true, else it is going to give false. Again, these keywords are inbuilt, so you have to use F capital only. Then F string method, double quotes, same thing. So why I've given this example is you can do a lot of things inside F string. You're not just printing the variables. You can customize your message. You can check the existing code, or you can write some kind of expression. Okay. This is also one more example. Here we are converting using upper function. It is a string function. That is an expression now. See, any expression that you want to print. So make sure that you are writing inside the bracket. So if you miss this bracket, it will be considered as a normal statement. Very simple. F followed by double quotes. Then in the flower bracket, you do whatever you want. In that you can play. Got it? So that will be considered as an expression. So this particular part, I think I've given as a Moodle program, converting feet to inches. So you can do it using F string. You can write directly expression also. So these are very basic things that everyone should know. So please, if anyone have any doubt till now, please ask me, apart from whoever asked the questions. Right? Any doubts in the three methods? So what are the three print methods if someone asks you? One is percentage, right? Percentage operator. Then second one is dot format. Third one is string method. So please remember these three methods. So if somebody asks you how many printf output formatting functions are there in the Python, 3 functions. Okay. Any doubts?
Sir,
Yes.
sir, you'll upload all these modules in Moodle, sir.
Yes, ma'am. See, we are people are going to have summer vacation maybe by next week. I don't know, from 1st to 13th. So that's why I've prepared these modules. So what you need to do is in the vacation period, you can go through these questions. I'm going to add a lot of questions in the model. I'll be updating. So please be in touch with the topics every day. Check if there is any new question that has been added. Please try that. Okay. So it is not like I'll be adding all the questions at a time. So I'll be, whenever I'm free, whenever I get something interesting question, I'll be putting them in the Moodle. So please be updated with the content. Okay. Try it, whatever the question that I'm adding in the summer vacation also. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I have sent you a photograph. How about that, sir? Once can you see it?
Which one? Which one? Which photo?
This like now Python in the parenthesis.
Where, ma?
It to your WhatsApp number, sir.
Okay. So we'll discuss. See, yeah, like you can do that also. So let us take 1 or 2 questions. Let us not discuss the same topic multiple times. So hope you guys can understand, because we have only 1.5 hour session. In that, I want to cover most of the topics, right? So that all people can learn it, right? So some people you know already. So if you have any such small doubts, you try it. I will try it later on. Let us meet personally and discuss about those things. One topic, let us not waste more time. That's what my suggestion is. It's not like I don't want to clarify the doubts. I just want to go through the topics, then take 1 or 2 questions, so that we can cover a lot of topics also. And those who don't have any, those who are starting the Python from the scratch for the very first time, they will get benefited. That is my suggestion. So I hope this method will also work, not an issue, because you are using concatenation operator, plus operator you are using, so it will work.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So that's what base. See, now generally how the Python coding works is, they will give the question, right? After that you will start thinking. See, whatever the way I wanted to put, I have put it in the notes, correct? Then based on your requirement, these thoughts you are getting now, can I do in this way, can I do in that way? That is the process that all of you should do it, right? They just don't follow that notes and leave it, because the multiple ways will be there. Got it? So try the multiple ways. Till if you're not getting the solution, then we will sit and discuss. That's the process should be. Okay. So everything, if we discuss or try to solve in the class, means we will be stuck in that topic only. That is my suggestion. So apart from this, any doubts, other people? Okay. So I'll quickly go through this slides. Module 2. Let me complete the module. Then we'll take the questions. Okay. So till that time, I want your support. So I'm muting all of you for a time being. So I'll go through the topics first. Then we'll take 1 or 2 questions. Then complete another module. Then we'll take the questions, so that you can try the questions in the model. That is my suggestion. Okay. So the next thing that I want to cover is control flow statements. All of you are already solving the programs, so that's very good. Good thing. Most of you are interested. That's what I'm happy about. So most of you are quickly learning the Python by discussing with the friends but please don't just copy and leave it there. Okay. So I know you can't avoid sometimes. I know you people will refer other friends code or you will copy. I know most of you will do that. But my suggestion is at least learn and do it. Okay. At least learn and do it. At least know what it is, what is the statement. At least have the foundation clarity. Okay. So if you have that, definitely in the coming days, you will improve upon yourself. So please just don't do copy paste because I'm going to give deadline or everyone are completing. Let me also complete. Because what I'm trying is, even I was interacting with your seniors, most of the questions they are asking in the interviews based on basic syntaxes only. And especially in Python, they are testing the basic syntax knowledge only. Like how you people are asking today, can you do like that? Can I do like that? So how you can get that knowledge only when you try it, trial and error method. Okay. You can't just study or refer someone's code and leave it there. Okay. So if someone asks some doubt to me, until I get an answer, I should try. That's how it should be. Got it? So please try, please learn whatever you are saying, you learn it, understand it, then you can copy, not an issue. But I want you to go through each and every line that you are writing in a code, have a clarity. It is as simple as that. When you are eating, you know what you are eating, right? Suppose if you're a non-vegetarian, if you're a vegetarian and if someone serves you non-vegetarian, will you eat just like that, just because someone is serving you food? Because you know what you are eating. So that's what I want you to do, all of you. So there are control statements which you already studied in C, but there are some more extra syntactical differences are there. Along with that, there is one more keyword is there: pass, remaining, or for and while. So one thing that you are observing is there is no do while in Python. There is no do while. So please remember. But there is a way to implement do while. So you need not to worry. So iterative statements are for while, transfer statements are break, continue, and pass. Conditional statements if else, if ELIF. So there is no else if. Okay, in the Python there is ELIF. So these are all basic syntax. I hope all of you learned. And one thing that I want you to be very careful when you are using the branching statements or conditional statement is that be careful with the indentation. So those who are learning it for the first time, please be careful with the indentation. For example, so I'll stress upon this point a little bit more so that you will understand how important indentation is in Python. So you see, indentation is important to represent block of code. In the last class also we discussed indentation represents what code comes under which particular part, correct? So here it is telling there is an indentation error after if. Basically, Python compiler is not able to understand this three statements, whether they come under if or not. It is not able to decide because there is no opening bracket, there is no closing bracket. We are not using opening and closing bracket here. So compiler is not able to understand where should I, till how many lines I should consider the statements that comes under if, correct? So that is very important. Okay. So you need to give tab space, one tab space, or else Jupyter Notebook will automatically add the space by itself. So this space indicates that this particular print comes under if, and there is no need to add bracket. As I told you, colon is important. No opening and closing bracket. After every conditional statement, you need to put a colon. So if x is greater than y, colon, then tab space print. So compiler automatically detects that this particular fourth and fifth line as a block. Then you go for else, right? Then again, if I execute, this is also giving error because you are not following the indentation. So here you need to give one tab space. Now I'll ask one question to all of you. Just any one person can clarify this. Is it always mandatory to give a slash tab space, or can I give just something like this, just one space? So just tell me, will this code work? Anyone? Will this code work? So here, this particular if block is having this many spaces, else block is having only one space. Will it work?
No, sir. No.
Any other answer? So let me execute.
No, sir.
So 2-3 persons have answered that the common feeling is that it doesn't work, because just now I told that you need to follow / tab space indentation, right? One tab space indentation. But as you can see, we are getting the output. Correct. So now what I will do, I will put it somewhere here. Am I getting the output? Yes. So I will add somewhere here. Am I getting the output? Yes. So what you are understanding by this? But if I start from the first line, I won't get the output. So at least how many spaces are required after each statement keyword? At least one space is required, right? So it is not mandatory that if follows some 6 spaces, else follows 1 space. It is not mandatory. You can follow your own number of spaces, right? But it has to be consistent. What do you mean by consistent is, I will add one more line below this. So let me ask you the one more question. So I will add one more line here. Y is greater than X. Then I will print or something like this. Y is the bigger. So can anyone tell me, will this code work?
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Yes. Yes, sir.
No,
Yes.
sir.
Sir. No, sir.
Yes,
sir.
Naughty girl. So why can't you show your face and shout, ma? So that everyone can follow you, right? Okay. So can you see? It is not going to execute. It is giving unexpected indent. So what you are understanding here is, it is as simple as that. Suppose I am building a house, right? For each floor, suppose it is a 5-story apartment, right? For each floor, I want to keep number of steps consistent, or can I increase and decrease however I want to for lift? Basically, it is not possible. No? So it has to be consistent in order to build a proper house, right? The foundation has to be perfect, right? I mean, it has to be on the same level. Suppose one pillar is 5 feet down, another pillar is 3 feet. Will it work? So it doesn't work, correct? So you need to follow indentation as per your convenient, but all the lines has to be on the same level. So that means, suppose this printf is here. Vandana, who is Vandana? Yes, Vandana, unmute yourself and talk. Okay. So see here, in this case, is it working or not? Why it is working in this case? Because it doesn't matter how many spaces are there here, but these two statements are starting from the same line. So that is called as indentation. So the rule is that you have to follow indentation, but what is the flexibility that you are having in the Python? It is not mandatory to follow fixed spaces. You can use 6 spaces, 7 spaces, 8 spaces, doesn't matter. But the number of lines that comes below after the first statement has to be on the same line. For example, will this work? In this case,
No, sir.
because
No, sir.
see, this particular first line is starting in this particular tab space, right? But the second statement is starting here. So definitely there is no coordination. So again, it is going to generate unexpected indent. So this is the most basic thing in the Python. Those who are starting from the scratch, please remember, if you don't follow indentation, if you type whatever you want, oh, Python doesn't follow brackets, so let me type however I want. So it doesn't work like that. Python doesn't follow opening and closing brackets, but it is more complex than the C. So if you don't follow the indentation, assume that there are 1,000 lines of code and there is no proper indentation. Definitely you don't know where the opening bracket is, where the closing bracket is. So you need to be very careful about spaces that you have given in the code. So if I start this line here, definitely it will work, correct? So y is greater than x, y is the bigger. Suppose if I change the values, So what is the output I'm getting? X is greater than Y, X is bigger. So please write down all of you if you want somewhere. What is not mandatory? Number of spaces is not mandatory, but how many spaces that you are using, all the lines should follow the same number of spaces. That is as simple as that. Okay. So I have written here already, number of spaces is not mandatory in Python, but it has to be consistent within a block of code. Correct. So here again, you see these two are starting here, but this else is starting somewhere here. So still it will work. Then there are some shorthand if else statement for your convenient. So there will be a lot of variants, but as a basic learner, if you know these many things, it is more than enough for you to try the questions and follow the difficult questions later on. I mean, if you are good in the foundation. So here it is a shorthand notation. Instead of writing all on the different line, so I can directly combine print along with the if statement, along with the else statement, all on the same line. So this is checking two conditions. It is printing A if A is greater than B, else it is printing B. Similarly, this is combining multiple statements, multiple comparison statements. So it is going to print A is greater if this condition is satisfied, else it will print both equal if this condition is satisfied, else it will print the another message. So you can combine multiple statements, if statements, else statements within the same line in the Python. That is one advantage. So it is called as shorthand if else statement.
Sir.
Yeah.
Sir, in that shorthand if else statement, can we write if A greater than B before that print statement, sir?
Yeah, you can try. You can try that. So shorthand, there are multiple ways to do it. Here, one method I've given. So you people try different methods and you just check it whether it is working or not, right? So as I am telling you, Python is very flexible. For one particular output, you are having thousands of variations in the way you want to get it. Okay. The only thing is you should know if it is working for you or not. Okay. Then logical operators. So instead of and, or, and not, we are having exact names, exact keywords. So this and is replaced by and keyword, or this double lines are replaced by or keyword and not by not keyword. Okay. So you can directly check multiple comparison statements using and, or, and not. So this is checking if A is greater than D 3 and A is less than 2, all the same expression in the same expression. And this particular thing is comparing the reverse basically. If this particular expression is true, it will reverse that. So why I'm getting the false true as the output? Because A is greater than 4, but A is less than 2, right? See, A is greater than 4 and A is less than 2. Both has to be correct now. But A value is 5. 5 is greater than 4. But this part is false. So this entire output is false. But I'm reversing that output using not keyword. So I'm getting the output as true. So it is just like not keyword in the C language, which you already learned. So this is declaring the function in the Python. So I will be covering more topics related to functions later on, but this is a simple example which I have given to explain about else if statement. So in Python, we don't have else if keyword, but instead we have elif keyword. Okay. So you can see this is a def which is used to create a function in Python, def keyword. Let's please mute yourself and talk. So def keyword is used to declare the function, right? So I'm entering some choice here, int input, enter choice. So again, about input functions, I'll talk about in the next module. So here, why I'm written this int here? So all of you solved so many problems. So by default, Python takes the input in the string format, correct? So to convert that data into the integer, you need to specify the corresponding data type. Here we are entering the choice as a string, but that I want to convert as an integer. So this particular, this is called as typecasting. This line int input is called as typecasting. Okay. Then I'm calling this variable a login function with the variable. So here, if the user enters choice 1, I'm printing Python. Else, instead of writing else, if I'm writing elif. So elif is the keyword that you need to use. So nowhere you need to use the bracket. Bracket you can write, still it will work, but without bracket also Python is flexible. So ELIF choice, if choice is 2, it goes to this line. Choice is 3, it goes to this line. So what you are observing here is it has the particular indentation has to be, you know, consistent here. So that, as I already explained, indentation has to be consistent. Will it work? Suppose if I change here, suppose if I enter choices 2, so suppose if you are getting error in your cell, so make sure that you are restarting the kernel. Okay, here go to kernel, restart and clear output. Okay, kernel or reconnect you can give. See, in this case, it is not executing. Got it? So kernel, restart. So what you can do is shut down and reconnect. Or you can just click on restart kernel. Okay, so you can see it is coming. So again, you can see here in the if else statement, this printf is having this many indentation spaces, but ELIF has only one indentation space. So still I'm going to get the output. I told you. So it doesn't matter how many spaces you are following in every if and else if statements, but if I am having one more line below this, printf Java is a object oriented, like something like that I'm typing. Okay. So here I'm getting the output. Suppose if I change again here, so I'm going to get the error. So this particular printf again has to be moved here. Both has to be on the same line. Got it? So please be careful when you are having multiple print statements inside, if, for, or else. All of them has to be on the same level. Then this pass keyword is something new that you are learning in Python. Suppose if you don't have any body of the statement, correct? Suppose if you don't want anything to be printed, if the condition is true, then you can use pass function. Suppose if b is greater than a, suppose I'll change the value. B value is 5, a value is 2. So what I've written? So I'm not getting any output here because pass means it just executes the program. It doesn't print anything. Sometimes you want condition to be checked, but you don't want to print anything. So that time pass keyword is used. Pass keyword is just to use to print nothing on the screen if the condition is matched. Okay, you can't leave the empty bracket. Basically, you can't print the print statement with the empty bracket. You can write like this. This will work, but again, both of them are same. So it is something like that keyword you need to remember. They will ask what is pass keyword. They will ask. So pass keyword is used to check the condition, but you don't want to print anything on the output. You are just skipping that particular condition. And this is called as nested if, right? So the previous one was else if statement, and this is nested if. You are having, you are checking multiple if statement within one another, right? So you are checking if A is greater than B. Inside that, you are checking if A is greater than C, right? Then you are printing something you are assigning that A is the bigger number. But what I want you to observe in this codes is that indentation. Again, can anyone tell me, I am going to move this else here. Why I'm getting error? Why I'm getting error here? Anyone? Anyone?
Sir,
Intent does not mention.
if else ladder should have uniform.
See, within this if there is another if else block, right? Within this if there is another if else block.
Yes.
Both of those two things should be on the same line. So these two keywords comes under the first if. Those two has to be on the same line. Similarly, in the else block also, you are concatenating one more if else statement. I mean, you are merging one more condition inside else. But you can see they are already on the same line. So you can't change that order. So I just want you guys to observe these things in the initial part, because writing code is not a big deal. Solving that errors is a very important thing. Where you went wrong, what is the syntax error, where is the logical error? If you are able to identify the errors that you are generating, then you are a good programmer, right? Someone will give you a code, but you will type it and will make a lot of mistakes. But how to verify, how to solve those errors is an important aspect in coding. That's how, that's what the basic skill the company people want. Because nobody is going to write everything from the scratch. One person will implement and hand over that code to you guys, right? In a team. And as a team member, you are able to understand or try to find the mistakes in that code or not is very important skill. So for that, what is important is the basic syntax rules that that particular language follows. So if you're knowing that syntax rules, you can easily learn any language. So that's what I'm teaching this aspect. I'm stressing upon this point more in Python, because see, otherwise you will write however you want to. So suppose if I don't know anything about Python, I will write, see, I am writing else here. See, by default, you can see by default, it is going to this line. The Jupyter notebook, when I press enter after this line, the line is coming here. But if I type else here, will my code work? No, because if is starting here, got it? If is starting here, so I have to bring it backwards and make sure that they both are aligned properly. So this is important in Python. Indentation, please write down and fix that in your room, in your mobile as an important note. If you are learning Python, indentation is the first thing that you need to be observing. Okay. So similarly, these are all alternative ways. So there is a one more keyword. None is a keyword which indicates 0. That means it is not having any value. So you can declare any variable with none. Suppose you don't have any value initially. So what is the output I'm getting? So it is checking for true condition. If x print GRIT. So is there any value for x? Yes, but it is none. None means nil. So I'm not going to get the output as GRIT. So I'm checking once again. Else if x is false. Again, it is not false, right? It is neither true nor false. It is just none. Okay. So I'm not going to get this Python also. Directly the control code to the else part. And what you are observing, all of them are on the same line. Let me check whether if I move this here, it will work or not. Is it working, guys? No. Why it is not working? Again, this is, you are combining if, else if, and else. All should fall on the same line. Got it? So this is important. So many people have executed for loops, right? So for loop, what is the syntax? So for loop is the most used again in Python for a lot of problems. So you have to be very perfect in that. So what is the syntax for loop in Python? For keyword followed by the index value, element value. So generally, how you type in the C for I equal to 0, I is less than n, I plus plus, something like this, no? So here, this particular I is nothing but this statement. In is nothing but you are going to enter a loop for that particular equation or expression. For I in is the compulsory keyword in the for loop. Okay. So in keyword followed by the expression or the values. Here I'm using the range function. So range is an inbuilt function. So I am going from 1 to 5. So all of you know that for loop or array always begins with the 0th index, right? So we are generally use 0, but you can start with any other value. So I'm starting with the 1 and going up to 5. So what will be my output? Up to 4 only. So for I in range 1 to 5 means excluding 5. So because I is less than n, so it goes up to 1 is less than 5. So once we reach 5, we come out of that loop. Very simple statement. Again, no need to follow this much spaces, right? By default, Jupyter Notebook adds automatic spaces, but still you can do it however you want to with the single space also. So it works, right? Suppose if I want to print along with that, I want to print one more message. Suppose here I want to print the numbers are. In the next line, I want to print the value. So where is the value? In the index variable I. Got it? Again, if there is no matching in the statement, you will get an index error. Just make sure that all of them are on the same level. Got it? So you can customize however you want to, but make sure that you are following the indentation. So you can also loop through the strings. You can directly mention the variable instead of the range function. So here for x in GRIT, print x. So what it is going to print? So it is going to print each character one by one. So can anyone tell me what is the default value of x here? Is it 1 or 0?
0.
0, right? 0. So there is one more important concept. I'm going to add much more questions in the coming days. So using this particular syntax. So what is this syntax? Range function. In the previous thing, we had 1 to 5, right? For range 1 to 5. That means it starts from 1 and goes up to 4, right? So here we have alternative method for range. What is that? Start, stop, and step. Okay. So the middle one is stop and the third one is step. It is just like counter value, increment operator. So instead of by default, it goes by one position, but I can mention how many positions I want to skip, correct? What does it do is it starts from 0, skips by 2 values and goes up to 6 position. That means it prints alternative numbers, right? So these kind of questions also they will ask. So what is the output I'm getting? 0 to 4. Why I'm getting 0 to 4? After 0, I'm not incrementing by 1, but I'm incrementing by 2. So that is called as counter, step counter. So after 2, I'll go up to next 2 values. And once I reach 6, I'll stop and come out of the loop. So like this range function will be useful to do a lot of problems. Then you can combine for with if and all those things, right? So this particular for, it is going up to 5 and it is checking whether the given number is even or odd, right? Again, see the indentation I want all of you guys to observe. Here they are in the same indentation. So what is this part? Is it coming inside loop or outside loop?
Outside.
Outside loop.
Okay. So here you see, I'm getting odd number, even number. I'm just checking which are the odd numbers, which are the even numbers from 1 to 5. Correct. So odd number 1, even number. I'm just printing that. Just observe here. Can anyone tell me what will be the output of this code? I mean this part.
Sir, no output.
Will it print any output?
No output, sir, because break means it will come out of the program.
For x in range, see here I didn't mention start value also, end value also. I have just mentioned 6. See, there are different ways of using range. I told you, in the first example, I used 1 to 5, then 0, 6, 2 I used, and here I'm just using 6. So what will be the output? One of your friend has told no output. Any other answer?
0, 1, 2, 3.
0,
0, 1, 2, and stop.
3. 3 will not be printed. Okay. What about this one?
0 and 2 task is done.
It is not.
Sir,
0, 1, 2 task is done.
sir,
Task is not printed. Generation error.
Hmm?
Sir, is the indentation fault not there, sir, for this?
No. Where is the indentation fault here?
Sir, if else ladder.
See, if has only one statement here, break. It doesn't have any other statement. See, this printf comes outside if block. Okay, so that's what I want you to try. Want you to tell. Basically, this printf, this print statement comes under for loop. This break comes under if. Okay, this will going to work only when x matches with 3, right? It doesn't have any print statement. Once this condition is true, I will break the loop. But if this condition is not true, I'm just going to print each value one by one. But what is that most importantly we're observing is this part is not getting printed. Whereas in the previous question, this part is getting printed. So what is important question that you need to understand is whenever you are using break keyword in the for loop, and if the for loop is followed by something else, suppose if for else or any other keyword, that part is not going to be executed. But this is not the case in the C. In C, still you will continue and you go with the next statements, right? So that is important. That's why I've written here, else block will not execute if the loop is terminated with the break in the for loop in the Python. So this particular else doesn't have any value now as soon as the condition is matched. So this is also one of the important question, right? Will the for loop will be followed by else if I use break inside the for loop? The answer should be no. You will directly come out of the loop and come out of the entire program, not only the loop. But in C, will come out of the just loop and be followed by the continued statements after the loop. Correct? Are you getting my point? So just to remember, if the for loop is used along with the break inside that, and if there are any other statements after the loop, those things will not be executed. Similarly,
Sir,
yeah.
Sir, where is the corresponding if block for the else block?
I didn't use any else block. So it is just like in C also you can use just if block, right? It is not mandatory to use the else block.
No, sir. Else, you wrote only else in the fifth line, right? So it does not have any for that thing if.
No, that's what I'm trying to say. This else is not part of this if block. Okay, because they are not on the same line, right?
Yes, sir.
So if I write else here, where I should start? I should start
with the
on this
common
line.
indentation.
Yeah, common indentation. Print exiting. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
Okay. See, when the statements are on the same line, just remember that they are not inside the other loop or other statement. They are individual state. Correct? So here, if and else are on the same line. They are on this different line. Correct? So here, for this, if is associated with else. And again, this part doesn't come under this else. This print comes under where? This comes under loop, for loop. Got my point?
Yes, sir.
If you want, just as a simple ways, if I want to tell you, in case of branching statements and looping statements, I will tell you. If you write like this, for I in by something like this. So if you want any statement to come under this side, inside this for loop, you should use at least one space. Similarly, if you have if statement, if A is greater than B, if you want any statements to come under this particular statement, you should use at least one space. At least one space. Okay. Then I'll write something here. Then I'll go for else. Again, this if and else should be on the same line. Then again, inside this else, you can't start the printf statement from the beginning. If you start from the beginning, again, it is an indentation error. So this print doesn't come under this else. Compiler will get confused. Okay. So all these things are basic rules that you need to follow. Then similarly, while loop. So while keyword you need to use, while the condition, colon. This is important. Just like for loop, if statement, else statement, you need to use colon here after while loop, while statement. While I is less than 10, colon, print I, again there is a space. Then inside this while I am combining if. Okay, so this if I equal to 5, you can break. If this is not true, you can keep on continuing with the loop by incrementation of 2 values, I equal to I plus 2. So what is the output I'm getting? 1, 3, 5. Okay, so this is syntax of while loop, same just like for, but the only thing is that you need to use the colon here. So please follow this syntactical rules. Then this is called as nested for loop. Just like in C, what we have a nested loops, right? Here we have a nested for loop for I in range 1 to 5. Then again, you need to be very careful about the syntax. For element in sequence, right? This is inner loop body. Then again, this is one more loop. Again, for that particular body statements, you should give some indentation. Body of inner loop, and this comes under body of outer loop. Okay, so you have to be very careful about the syntax, nested loop syntax. So what it is going to print? So see here, just 3 lines of codes are going to do this. So imagine doing this thing in the C language. So you need to first read the values, then again for loops, opening, closing bracket, all those things, right? So here you are going to do that in the one line. So simple question, can you tell me this print line comes under which loop? First loop or second loop?
First loop.
First loop.
First loop, right? Because see, both of them are starting on the same line, means you just think that they are separated. They are separate statement. If this particular line is coming under inside some other line, means obviously it is part of that particular loop. But my one more question is, can I think that this 11th line comes under this for loop? Can I say that?
Yes.
Directly or indirectly?
Indirectly.
So directly, this print statement is related to which loop?
Second loop.
Second loop. This printf statement is related with third loop. Okay, so if you're having this clarity, definitely you can easily learn Python. So today, see, I have been telling you that from long time, right? So if you know about this indentation rules, definitely you will easily understand Python. So concentrate more on solving yourself questions, simple questions only. Make some mistakes in the indentation, rectify it, then note down where you went wrong. Okay. So I have added different questions. Then there is one more important point that I want to tell you is, does the Python have switch case? So all of you know that C has switch case, right? Do we have switch case in Python? The answer is yes or no. So Python doesn't support switch keyword. Okay, please remember that. That's why in the diagram also I didn't add here. The Python doesn't have switch keyword. But there is a way to implement switch keyword. Okay, there is a way to implement switch keyword. So you can implement menu driven program using switch case. So what is alternative for switch in the Python is ELIF. Okay, so ELIF just acts like switch case in the Python. So same thing, if choice equal to 1, you call this function. If choice equal to 2, you go to the second function. If choice is 3, you come out of the loop. You come out of the menu. Else if choice is 3, break. Otherwise print invalid choice. Okay, and how to generate infinite loop in Python? The answer is you need to just give the true keyword. If anything is written in Python, something like this. So while true, and if I write something here, so this is called as an infinite loop because there is no terminating condition for this. So how to generate infinite loop in Python is just use the true keyword. Okay, so in the previous class, if you remember, guys, I asked what is the keywords, whether the keywords all of them are in lowercase or uppercase or semi. So the answer was neither lower nor upper, right? Because the true, the false, and none keywords begin with the uppercase letter. Remaining all keywords begins with the lowercase letter. That's why you can't tell that all keywords in Python are uppercase. Okay. So please go through this basics, loops. I will upload this modules today, loops and print methods. Along with that, I will upload module 2 also. I think it's only right. Yeah, module 3. Okay, so in module 3, I've given the examples more about how to read multiple line inputs in Python, right? How to read multiple line inputs. I don't want to read them every time separate by line, right? So how to read the multiple line inputs in Python is what I've given in the module 3. Somebody asked, right, what is a split? If I read the data from the input function, by default, it will be in string mode. So first you need to convert that into int, and then you can add it to another variable. So all these things are important. Typecasting you need to know. And I've given some inbuilt function math module. What are some of the inbuilt functions in the math module? Similarly, what is slicing? So this is the most important concept which I will cover in the next session. So we are running out of time. Okay. So slicing in Python, I will cover. I will clarify your doubts in the next session, but you can follow it. I will upload in the Moodle, right? So if you are having any doubts, practice this slicing concept. Just follow the output, what I've written, what is the code here. Follow the diagram. Definitely, it is easy to understand. So the remaining topics we will cover in the next session. Okay. And CRs, please take a feedback from your classmates in the next class. I mean, in the physical classes in the college, we are trying to organize 1 or 2 sessions or alternative sessions in the summer vacation. So I want exact number, how many are going to attend in the summer vacation. Okay, from each section, I want the count. I want it by this Friday. So if you are not sending me any data, so automatically we will think that it is not needed. So please come up with the numbers, how many are going to attend in the summer vacation Python sessions. So maybe 3 or 4 max. We want to cover 3 or 4 sessions and make sure that you are practicing the Python you are utilizing the time to learn Python in the summer vacation. Okay. So please provide the data to your I mean, all the students, you provide the data to the CRs. CRs, you personally send me the message from each section, how many are going to attend the sessions in the summer vacation, Python sessions. Okay. So continue working with the questions that I'm going to add every offer now and then. Then we follow the models that I'm attaching in the Moodle also. Then in the class, if you are getting any doubt, you please ask me. Okay. So we'll catch up next session.
Sir.
Yes.
Sir, all these modules will be available in Moodle, sir? Or
poll, yes. So thank you for reminding. So I'm going to launch a poll, just 5 questions. So please answer, all of you who are still there. Yeah, just take 2 minutes and answer it. Okay, I think this I've already given. Okay, so check the poll. Please answer, all of you. I am going to give you just maximum 5 minutes, not more than that, because this account is going to be used for another training session. So please do it quickly. I'll end exactly in 5 minutes. Is the poll visible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
So please refer the slicing concept. I'll update today. I'll be adding some questions based on slicing in Python. Okay, already I've added, I think, based on string questions. So many of you are already trying. So it is not that hard to follow it up. So personally, I'm very happy compared to the last year. You people are really trying all the programs and executing, but still I want the complete effort from everyone's side. This week, I will give the deadline for the first 10-15 questions, which I've already added last week, right? 2 weeks back. So after that, you can only attempt the remaining questions that are available in Moodle. So please tell your friends also to complete and finish those questions. Completed, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sir.
Many of you are not answering. I got only 73, 75 responses. See, CRs, please tell your friends. I want full participation, full attendance in these classes, right? You might be learning by yourself, not an issue, but the attending and clarifying your doubts, right? Whatever the sessions we are going to cover. So we are going to consider all these things for the future placement activities. So we are going to give priority to those who are attending regularly, those who have maintained 100% attendance, right? So priority preference will be given to those people. So if you are losing the focus, missing sessions, right? Definitely, you will face the problem in the coming activities. Not face the problem. We just give the priority, and we just want to concentrate on those who are regular, those who wants to learn 100%. So tell your friends their involvement is important, because this we are conducting right out of our interest, and we want you to learn from the scratch. So it is not needed in the first year immediately, but we are trying our level best to give extra knowledge. Okay, so make sure that all your friends are updated with the content. Help each other, that is also important. Just be a motivational factor for you, people around you. By seeing you, they should be inspired. Have that competitiveness. Don't just do the programs and distribute in all the sections. Okay, go execute. So that's not the way how you learn. Whatever you are learning, please you make sure that you know it 100%. Okay, so I will think it's time to end the poll. Okay, so hope all of you identified the mistakes in the poll questions, right? So these kind of questions you will get in the interviews and in the coding platforms, right? Correct output, correct statement. So make sure you are practicing these kind of questions. Okay, so hope please practice the questions in the model, so you can connect in the next session. I'll update about the next session, and please see us. Whatever the instructions I give you, please follow it and give me the result by Friday about the summer vacation classes. Okay, see you.
Sir.
Yes.
Sir, till now, whatever models you have explained, how many questions we can solve from models, sir? Like on what topics can be solved?
You can solve up to loops.
You mean control statements?
Yeah, you can solve up to control statements. Even loops also you can solve.
Sir, please upload the modules as soon as possible.
Okay.
Sir, in college, when can we meet you, sir?
You can meet anytime. Just message me and come before coming.
Okay, sir. Sir, where should we meet you?
In placement office.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Ray Vamshi.